What is up?
What's
Beautiful
up?
people. All right, we are here, and I want everyone to type in the chat. What, on a scale from 1 to 10, on a scale from 1 to 10, how blessed are you in your life right now? How blessed do you feel? 10 being like, yo, God is good. I'm being blessed across all angles. My health, my spirituality, my relationships, my money's doing well, 10 out of 10. And 1 is like, yo, I don't even want to be here, but I decided to show because I need it today. I'm going through it. 1 out of 10. How are you feeling? How blessed are you feeling? I'm sitting currently probably at an 8, and because it's a stressful day because of all the goodness we have going on. But we got some tea. Well, there was no clink.
There we go.
And I'm excited to get this up to a 10, guys.
So today, again, we have my favorite tea in the whole world, the Japanese smoked tea.
From Kyoto, only Kyoto. Hey, if you guys never been to Japan, you got to go to Japan. It's the absolute vibes.
And get some smoked tea and some Wagyu steak.
That's right. We went to Japan a couple of weeks ago, and we learned so much about their philosophy, right? Their philosophy of how they treat other people, their language, their scenery. Everything's just so calm. Zen Buddhism, I don't know if it comes from there, but I believe it does. Maybe not. Correct me if I'm wrong. But just, it was such a good vibe, and we took that home with us. We took this philosophy of tea home with us, which is just, hey, when you're drinking tea, just remember the vibes. Remember that we're all good. Remember that life is okay as long as we got tea.
We got tea.
What are we talking about today, Drew?
Today, we're talking about making you some money. Today, we're talking about how to get the money. We're talking about sales. More importantly, though, we're talking about how to sell. And regardless of where you are in your money position, financial position, job position, wherever you are in life, making sure that you're positioned to know how to sell. I want you to be able to sell anything to anyone at any time, because when you're a good person who offers great value to the world, then you have a moral and ethical obligation to sell things. Because whether you're selling your friends on going to Japan with you, hey, God is good all the time. I like that.
That's right.
So whether you're selling your friends on going to Japan with you, like me and Leo are selling you right now to go to Japan and get some smoked tea, or whether you're selling someone on having a better life, maybe you have a son, a daughter, a friend, and you're like, you can do better. Like, God's got more for you. You're selling them on the idea that they are able to accomplish so much more. And my prayer is today that I sell you on the ability, the God-given gift you have that you can offer to the world. And that not only you can offer this gift to the world, but it can pay you really, really well when you learn how to sell it. So we're going to talk today about sales. Type it in the chat, GTFM, how to get the freaking money. And it goes so much deeper than just making a sale, because I used to believe selling was trying to get people to buy something and being disappointed if they didn't. I've since learned that selling is attracting.
Yes, we're going to be talking about building massive rapport, how to be incredibly likable in every scenario that you walk into as we continue to sell. We're going to be talking about the art of asking questions. I'm going to interview, and this is going to be very special, guys. I'm going to be interview on how he closed 500 houses real estate. That's going to be impeccable, because I know we have a lot of real estate investors here and a lot of people in different industries, but it's all in connection to how we overall sell.
You guys are surprised? I'm surprised too.
Yes. We're going to talk about the power of influence, how to sell without selling. We're going to talk about charisma, how you're able to show up with this energy that makes you just yourself so influential. We're going to talk about confidence, how to have confidence as you're selling and how to become the best version of yourself, as we say it up here. And then also consistency wins. So we're going to do mindset last, because I want to get you guys the frameworks and give you guys this taste of, here's what you can use. And in this live stream that we're going to do, you're going to get a lot of tidbits, and a lot of nuggets that you're able to take away and start utilizing in your business today. So, Andrew.
Yes.
Let's start with building rapport.
Yeah. So I think building rapport is something that most people go on one side or the other that's extreme. So some people, I hear them going into a sales call, and let's just say in the real estate industry, other industries too, we'll talk about that. And in the real estate industry, they spend the first 32 minutes building rapport. There's no need for that. I'm normally a guy who builds rapport in 30 to 90 seconds. Like, I'm just getting on the phone, having a chat, making a connect, understanding, and getting to business. So understanding what building rapport is not trying to get a point across. It's actually understanding what the other person desires and speaking their language.
So what does that look like on a call?
So the first thing I do when I get on a call is I'll ask somebody, is this a good time? Do you have a minute? Right?
Yes.
So give them an opportunity to say something. Second thing I do, let's say it's a house, calling about a house for sale. Second thing I do is ask them about their house for sale. And then when I'm listening, if maybe I hear a dog barking in the background, maybe I hear a kid crying in the background, maybe I hear them say something about, and I moved here because of X, right? I moved here because of my son going to this school. And so I'll listen for anything that gives me a rapport opening. Write it down if you're taking notes, a opening for rapport. And I will ask a question about that. Oh, cool. What kind of dog is that I hear? Right? Tell me more about that. Which school is it that your son's going to? Or how'd that go? Or sports team? Bobby's going to play a ball game. Cool. Write it down, because now next time I have a follow-up call with this guy, I'm going to ask him, how did Bobby's ball game go? So just listening for the things that are important for the person you're talking to, which, by the way, is helpful in all conversations, not just in sales.
Or just ring, ring, ring. Hey, how you doing today? How you feeling?
That works.
Always, how are you feeling, right? It's something that not a lot of people ask. We're conditioned to ask, hey, how are you? How are you today, right? But when you ask questions like, how are you feeling? And you don't ask it that way all the time. It just depends on the tonality of the conversation. Like, how you feeling today, Andrew?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah? How are you guys feeling? Type in the chat. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling tremendous? Are you feeling absolutely astronomical? Are you feeling terrible? Where are you feeling? Maybe you're feeling just on top of the world. But that's how you start building that rapport instantly. And, for us, even in real estate conversations, that's how I started. You started a little bit differently.
For sure.
But you're going to start to see how we build rapport is different. How Andrew goes and builds rapport, it's 30 seconds, right? He knows exactly where he wants to go. He'll find a dog. He'll ask about the dog. He'll ask about their day, and then he'll jump right into it, right into business. He's been doing it for 10 years. Myself, in the calls that I do, different sales calls, high-ticket sales, I'll always start with, how are you feeling? You feeling good? What happened today? I'll start guiding through that conversation. For me, it'll take about 2 minutes because I'm a rapport guy. I like to know the individual. I like to feel the sauce and start to get that energy so they trust me,
right,
and they enjoy talking so it doesn't feel like a sell. Because really, at the end of the day, we want to help the individual on the other side.
And I think that's the most important part about rapport is you're not trying to sell yourself, but the whole vibe, the whole attitude, energy coming from that rapport session is that you are there to help, right? You're there to help. You're there to serve when you're really there to help and serve. And when I'm talking to a seller on the phone, they can tell, number one, I am not desperate to buy their house. I'm down to buy their house. If the terms work, I'm also down to say, hey, look, this ain't a fit for you to sell to me. You probably should consider listing this one. I have no problem saying that. So it's very much about them understanding that you're there to serve. So your objective is understanding what they need and seeing if we can give it to them. Every
person has a bullshit meter. Okay. Andrew has one. I have one. And it's fast too. As soon as we see something, it might be a scam. That might be a lie. Our bullshit meter, boom, boom, boom. The radar goes off.
Yeah.
And we also know it too. When we go to an event, we're talking to someone maybe at dinner and we know that the BS meter is going off. We're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
When you're on a phone call, a cold call, their BS meter went off the moment they got the ring.
Right.
So you have to figure out, how do I build the rapport to, number one, make sure they know I'm a human, and make sure, number two, I can solve their challenge. I just have to ask the right questions to get them to understand that, because the questions are the guide to the sale. So we'll jump into that, Andrew. What is the art of asking questions?
So number one, understand where you're headed. And number two, ask questions that guide them there. You I've been on the other side of that call. The phone rings. You get the phone call. You answer the call, and somebody's calling you on the other end. Hey, let me ask you about your insurance, your car insurance, your warranty. Let me ask you. And immediately you're like, crap, another one of these. So when I'm calling someone asking about their house, my objective in the first few seconds is immediately to dive in. Hey, I'm Andrew. I'm calling about your house on 123 Main Street. I was interested in buying it. Did I catch you at a good time? You got a couple seconds. In the first few words, they know exactly why I called and what I'm there for. Now I can go into the rapport building. Now I can go into asking questions. And everything I ask is to guide to a certain conclusion. Type it in the chat. Get to a conclusion. I think this is so important because every question is to get somewhere. I know exactly where I'm headed, and my objective is to serve them. And there is 3 outcomes on every call. The first desire is always to serve them. If I'm talking to a seller on a house, for example, I know that either A, by the end of this call, I will have a verbal agreement and we'll be going to a contract.
Sure.
B, they said some very not nice things to me, maybe called me a few choice words and hung up on me or told me to go away and never call back. And that is the other minority. So a minority, you're going to contract. A minority, they're going to be done. And then the majority, the conclusion is going to be scheduling a follow-up. Now, we're always going for the contract, of course, if the deal is something that fits in your objective. And a lot of times it's going to be they have to talk to a spouse or they have to check something or some follow-up things happens. So almost the majority of the time is going to be a follow-up scheduled. So now I know every question that I ask is guiding to a certain conclusion in a short amount of time.
So let's take it in a non-real estate approach, right? Real estate, it can be very systematic in a certain way while still adding in rapport, adding in secret sauce and your secret sauce, of course, as you've closed 500 deals, which I want to get into shortly. But when it comes to other industries, when it comes to high ticket, there's pieces to it where you can have your own style, but having a framework is so important, which is what we want to help you understand and build. So biggest thing as you're asking questions, guide to where they want to go.
Yes.
They're coming to you because they want an outcome, right? And you have what's going to get them to that outcome. For example, for us, as we continue to help our students, our biggest thing first that we do, of course, build rapport. How are you doing? How are you feeling? But then it's seeing what is your goal for 2025? Like, what do you want to achieve in 2025? What is your vision over the next year, 2 years, 12 months, 24 months? And you give it back to them because the one who asks the most questions is the one who's going to get the sale. But what that means is I'm asking the questions because I'm guiding your conversation. I'm putting in the key of saying, I want to know your vision. Boom. Now we're in a conversation of vision for the next 10 minutes. And after we talk about vision, I want to put in the key of talking about what the challenge is of getting to that vision, because that's going to uncover why you need me in the first place, why you're coming and hiring us. So then boom, we put the key in, which is the question, hey, what's your biggest challenge from getting to that vision? And you paint that vision back to them. And for us, we know that we can get people to a certain vision, right? We can't help someone get to 10 million. I can't help someone get to 10 million. I can help them get to 2, 3, 4 million. I can help them get to $1 million a year, but I can't get them to 10 mil. So if they want to get to 2 mil and they want to live an incredible lifestyle, and they say those things, I know how to get them there. But I have to uncover what their challenges are, because that is why they come to us. So, okay, what are your challenges from getting to that lifestyle? You said that you want to make a lot more money for you and your family. You said that whatever they say to you, you said that you want to make more money for you and your family. You want to travel more. You want to be healthier. What has been the biggest challenge for you getting there? And what we know is that they're going to give you a very surface level, but then it is your job as the salesperson, as we say, to help them uncover really what's going on. So that is a high ticket approach. That is a different, multi-industry approach. But when it comes to the real estate, because I know we have a couple people on here who are doing real estate and who are diving in to get more houses to add on to their portfolio. You've done over 500 houses.
Yep.
Tell me, if you put those 500 houses, all the calls you've ever done, and you put them into ChatGPT, and it gave you a bit of a framework. I know this is a hard question. I'm putting you on the spot. But what would be a baseline framework that would come out of all the conversations you've had buying those houses?
So I've never been asked the question like that. So I'm just going to say it as it comes to me.
Go ahead. That's what we're here for.
The first thing that comes to my mind is my objective is to serve. Now, on high ticket sales, like you were talking about, is I have a passion for the community that we're building and helping people build their businesses. In those cases, I build rapport much longer because I'm genuinely enjoying the conversation and digging into their goals, their family, their business, and where they're headed.
Right.
So when it comes to real estate, the first thing I am doing is I am there to serve. Type it in the chat. I am there to serve. And this is leading with that service is what's going to set you apart. If it's genuine, if it's truly you, it's going to set you apart from everyone else. So I'm leading with service. I'm here to serve. So when I'm on the phone to serve them, the first thing I'm doing is type it in the chat, understand their needs. That's the first part of the call. I'm Andrew. I'm interested in buying your house. Have a couple questions. Is now a good time? Boom. So immediately, as we're getting to understanding their needs, we're going to the fact of saying, okay, we now are understanding their needs. We've opened this door. And now I can start connecting. Type it in the chat. I am a connector. So number one is understand. And number two is connect. You can call it connecting or solving. What are you connecting? You are connecting their need to a solution. Now, as I told you, I'm genuinely there to serve. There's some houses that aren't meant for us to buy, and I am totally okay with not buying those. In fact, in some scenarios, I have told people, I said, look, I'm not your best option. You need all cash. You need retail. You should list it with a realtor, which leads them to either A, respect that I told them the thing that was best for them, or B, in a few scenarios have come back to say, no, I already tried that. That's why I'm calling you. Oh, got it. Reopen that loop. Why are we here? So if I can understand their needs and now connect them with a solution genuinely, it just so happens that I have a plethora of solutions in my tool belt. And if any of the solutions that I carry around in my beautiful tool belt, it's from my construction days, have the hammer, have the square, have the utility knife, have the tin snips. I have all of these tools in my tool belt. And if I am here to serve and connect them, I'm going to connect them to any resource I know. So, number one, understand. Number two, connect. And in connecting, I must know and understand what some solutions are. And I don't have to fully know all the solutions. I just need to understand their need. If you're new in real estate investing, you're just asking them to understand their needs. And now you're connecting them with maybe one of the solutions you have. And if you're not sure what solution to connect them with, that's why you're plugged into a community that does know. So there's a series of questions that I go through to understand their needs. And then there's a series of solutions that I begin guiding them to. I don't make offers. I ask questions. They make me offers. And then we look at each other and say, should we do this or should we not?
So this starts to beg the question, like, is the thing that we need to do is get better at asking questions and then know the right questions to ask. When we get to understand, when we're learning a topic like sales, it's understanding, okay, what is the main things I need to cover? Like when you're learning a language, what are the main things I need to cover? When you're learning anything, what are the main things I need to cover? So you can expand your brain and say, okay, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. So if you can foundationally learn how to ask questions incredibly well and then know which questions lead them to the sale the best, then you'll just start to get better and better, which leads us to the point of the more calls you do, the better you're going to get. And when you're doing this, guys, because over the next 365 days, we're here every single day, Monday through Friday, helping you build $1 million business.
By the way, I want to shout out Bill Welsh. He sent out and invited over 20 people to this stream last night. We're going to be doing some giveaways to those of you who bring people.
Trip to Hawaii.
So be looking out. In February, we're going to start doing some incredible giveaways. We're actually doing a giveaway inside our community. Now everyone on here is going to be like, how do I become part of your community? In our mastermind, we're giving away a trip to Hawaii. So type in the chat, Hawaii. So we're going to have to come and do some giveaways here. But thank you. Wanted to shout that out.
Shout out, Bill. So we understand that we have to ask the right questions to guide them. Now, what questions do we ask? That is a big piece. Let's talk about what questions do we ask, both on the high ticket product sales and then on real estate side first. Let's start with real estate and then we'll go to high ticket as well.
Yes. So for all of you, regardless of your business, there is a series of questions that we're asking. And the questions, Hawaii, I like it. The questions are going to come back to, what do you want? Type it in the chat. What do you want? This is a question I want you to ask everybody all the time when you're doing sales. And it's not going to necessarily be saying those words, but this is what's going through your mind. This is what you're getting to. So I buy a house. Lady calls me. And I say, hey, what's the least you'll take on price? Normally, we're going to agree on a price. I'm going to pay you over time, owner financing. What's the least you would take a month till I pay you in full? And then lastly, we usually buy with nothing down. So I know those are the 3 questions. But ultimately, I am not selling her on selling me her house. She's already told me, I live in Indiana. It's cold here. It's snowy here. And I want to get to Florida. My grandkids are in Florida. Got it. So what am I selling her? I'm not selling her anything. I'm actually just seeing if I can help her get to Florida, be closer to her grandkids. So this is no longer a transaction of me buying a house. This is me seeing if I can offer a solution to get her to Florida faster, to see her grandkids, to get her out of freezing Indiana, to take this headache off of her plate. This is the part we have to understand. What is it that in this case, she wants? So maybe you're doing a high ticket sell. My job as being on the phone or being wherever, making an offer, is to understand, what do you want? So if the person I'm talking to wants to have $20,000 a month of passive income, I am not offering a mastermind. I am offering them to apply for a place where they plug in and are surrounded by other people who are doing $5, $10, $15, $20, $50, $100,000 a month. Because they know, that if you're plugged into a community of people who are doing this, then suddenly your path and likelihood of doing it goes way up. If you're plugged into a community where there's millions of dollars of private money, then suddenly your likelihood goes way up. So no longer are we selling the thing that we're selling. I'm not selling her on selling me the house. I'm selling her on, I can take this problem off of her hands and she can get to Florida next week.
Sell the results. Sell the results. Sell the vacation, not the plane ticket.
Ooh, type in the chat. Sell the vacation, not the plane ticket. That's good.
Yeah, if I'm selling you to come to Hawaii, I'm telling you about all the beautiful islands we're going to go to. I'm talking about Alohilani, the amazing lounge that we'll be at, talking business, enjoying time with our friends. I'm talking to you about the sunshine, the weather, the incredible energy and vibes, the luau that we're going to go to. Oh, the luau, the food there is just so incredible. I hope you like sushi. I hope you like Kalua pig. I hope you like all those things in between because it is so good. Like when we go, every time we go to Hawaii, we always go to this place and they just have the best Kalua pig. You know what Kalua pig is?
Yeah.
You've had it before. It's like this pork that's just marinated in the best sauce. It's just the best thing. And then you have amazing people doing their performances.
Yeah,
it's
beautiful.
so awesome.
So
But
talented.
I'm selling that experience. I'm selling that vacation. I'm not going to sell you wherever you are, the 10-hour plane ride or the 5-hour plane ride it's going to take to get there. That's very unattractive. I'm not going to tell you all the benefits of this plane ride. I'm going to talk to you about what you're going to
Imagine the beautiful Spirit Airlines plane.
Right. I'm going to talk to you about the experience that you're going to get in Hawaii and all the things that's going to come after that. Wow. One of the most spiritual experiences we had was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
When we met some incredible people, incredible friends. We got closer to God because of Hawaii. We found an incredible church. I'm going to talk to you about all those things because that's going to allow you to look past the price, the plane ticket, all those things to get there. And you're just going to look at what that outcome is. Same thing for fitness trainers. You're selling them on the sexy body that they're going to feel, the confidence, the ability. For me, it was like, hey, I just wanted to be more attractive to women. So it's like, hey, if you could sell me that, I will pay whatever it takes. But then if you're talking to me about all the reps I have to put in and the bench press and the cardio that I have to do, I don't want to do it.
If you're in a barbershop, you're selling people on the feeling they get from a fresh fade.
Absolutely. So think about that, guys. You're selling the vacation, not the plane ticket. So think about what that vacation is and focus there. On our high ticket, we do the same thing. On real estate, is it the same thing with the real estate? Talk to me about that.
It's the exact same thing. So many times when I started this, I'm like, okay, I got to learn the nothing down. I got to learn how much a month, then what's a good deal, what's a bad deal, then how much equity do I have? What is equity? A note, a mortgage? Like my mind is just swirling with all this technical crap. And what I didn't realize, and I'm not saying none of it matters, it's a bit of an extreme statement, but none of that mattered. All that mattered is if I find motivated sellers who have a problem that I can solve by, in the case of selling to me, normally they net more than selling any other way they would because I'm paying them more money over time. And by offering them that solution, I am the answer to their prayer. And so the moment I grasp that and I stop focusing on, oh, but Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, why don't you want to sell me the house? But Mr. or Mrs. Seller, I could buy the house from you. I quit focusing on me and what I wanted to buy and what I wanted to do. And I started focusing on the outcome that they want. What do they want? Some sellers in the house business, some sellers only want a certain price. That's their hot button. This is a $400,000 house. The realtor said that I can't get 400. The appraiser said it was only 390. I want 400. And so I understand that their hot button is they believe their house to be extremely valuable. So my solution is offer to pay them over time. Maybe get a small discount off of the price. So maybe their hot button is I need $70,000 cash tomorrow or next week. And it's a $300,000 house. Well, got it. So they are asking $150 for a $300,000 house. And what they want is not to sell the house. They want $70,000 next week. So if I can provide them $70K next week, we can work out the rest of the details. So the moment I find the goal for the person I'm talking to, this person wants to hang out in Hawaii for a week, enjoying a beautiful vacation, is less important whether it's Spirit Airlines or American Airlines or Delta or what other
Southwest.
The Southwest, yes. So whatever airline it is, now that's suddenly less important because that's a side note. How we get the deal done. It's a side note that I'm going to pay over time. It's a side note that anything else that comes up because we're solving their main, what I call, type it in the chat, their hot button.
Yes. There's a lot that we can cover in this. I know we're covering the foundations and the basics, but we have a lot more lives to do to really go into the depths of closing, right? Because we can talk a lot about closing as we've recorded a lot of our closing calls. Maybe we'll show some of it sometime. And then, of course, closing when it comes to the high ticket is really seeing if they're ready and seeing if you answered all their objections and seeing if you had shown the value enough for them to release their IOU, their money, their value onto you because they know that the value you're going to give them is high enough. You've done a sell really well. But what I want you guys to think about is sales being the gateway to the life that you want. Because it doesn't matter what business you're in. You saw that as we threw it to Andrew and talked about the real estate part of the sales. He went through a lot of technical words. And that's just because he went through the education. He went through 10 years of doing real estate. So that just becomes his language.
Right.
But it doesn't matter what you're selling. You have to think about personally, what life do you want to live? Do you want to travel the world and be a digital business owner and go to Hawaii, go to Bali? You know, when we go to Europe in April, maybe you come with us and we're just hanging out and you're doing an e-commerce business, or maybe you're building a community, or you're doing a real estate portfolio that is hands off. You don't have to be in that state that you're doing business in, that you're buying houses in. What kind of life do you want to live? Because what's going to come out of that is the type of sales that you're going to need to do in order to get there. Because sales is how you're going to create revenue, how you're going to create income for your life, and how you're going to get blood flow for your business. You're going to have to sell anyways. And that's why this is the most important topic for us. You know, last year, over the past 24 months, we did $3 million just off of a fun community that we wanted to build. And what happened there was it was such a different way of selling because we turned down most people and we accepted into the community.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part about that is when you understand the value that you bring to an individual, whether you're in real estate or whether you're building a community, in coaching, in consulting, guiding people through a breakthrough, understanding the value that you bring and knowing that your price that you charge for it is much less than the actual value, it just becomes the easiest sale that you've ever done in your life.
Yeah.
Because you just have to go through that process of seeing, is this person a fit? Do I enjoy working with this individual? Would me and Andrew be happy if we got a call in 2 hours from this person saying, I need help, I'm in this position, right? I just closed the biggest deal of my life, I need help. Would we be happy to pick up that phone?
Yeah.
So I want you guys to think about that as well. Don't just sell to sell. Sell to get yourself in the life, in the position that you want to be in, because doing the real estate aspect, it requires you to learn. It requires you to go through mentorship. It requires you to put your head down and hustle to understand the technicals. Same thing as with anything, but focus your time in where you want to learn the most in your sales.
Zig Ziglar said, if I can help enough other people get what they want, I don't have to worry about what I want.
That's right.
And I think that is the power of what we call selling, which if you've done right, it's actually serving. If sales are done right, selling is serving. Type it in the chat, selling is serving. Let me ask you this. If someone comes into your life and they are struggling with their health, let's say that they come in, you have the ability, you had some health challenges, you learned certain vitamins to take, certain workout to do, and they're overweight by 55 pounds. And they come into your life and you say to them, they say to you, so-and-so, could you help me lose 55 pounds? Could you give me some pointers? I want to pay you. And you said to them, I hate to charge friends. I don't really have time to do that. Okay. They go on another 10 years and they're overweight. They're struggling with health. And that's because you didn't take the time to sell, which is serve. Imagine, though, that same person, they're 55 pounds overweight, they're struggling, they're having maybe a heart challenge or some other challenge, and they come to you and they say, Sheila, I know that you know how to help me get to be fit, and I know you was talking about starting a fitness company. Is this something that you could help me with? I would love to pay you. And you say, well, gosh, I've never done this before, but I guess so. What would you like? Right? And this person says to you, I don't know, I want to pay you $500 a month for you to write me out a list of a workout. And you look at your time, you go, yeah, I could do that in an hour and I could get $500 a month. Okay, that's fair. And then also, could I come by and work out with you one day a week at your gym? Okay. I'm working out anyway, so I'm giving an extra hour of my time plus allowing someone to come watch me work out with me for an hour. 2 hours a month, I can make $500 a month. Now, suddenly, because you made the choice to sell, which is serve, this person loses 55 pounds, feels better, way healthier, and now they have a better quality of life because you was willing to serve, known as selling. Now, which do you think is going to be the better life for you and them? They're going to do better. They're going to feel more confident. They're going to make more money because they paid you the $500 a month. You're going to feel good. You helped your friend out and you got paid for doing it. Everybody's winning. This is the beauty in serving that is selling. And when we decided to launch our community that Leo was referencing, it was so important. I say, I'm just too old to deal with people I don't want to deal with. I'm too old to deal with crap anymore. I've been through my share of crap. And I say that jokingly because I'm still very young. But I say that sincerely too, because I want all of you to be in the position to where you serve at the highest level, doing the things you enjoy and get paid for doing them. When I'm on the phone with a seller, I don't think I'm working. I'm just offering solutions. Or when we're inviting someone into our community to help them grow their business that we love working with, or somebody to go to Hawaii with us, we was going anyway, it's suddenly serving at higher levels. Serving is selling.
When Andrew taught me this, I was 18 and I had done so many different hustles. As some of you know, I was doing a clothing brand where I made a couple thousand. I was couch flipping where I was making $3,000 to $5,000 a month, but I was spending all my time cleaning, picking up couches, studying couches. And I was wholesaling real estate. And I got my first deal for $3,000. And I was so stressed because I didn't have the stability of a job anymore. I had to go spend that time to hustle and hustle and hustle and hustle to create a couple $1,000s which couldn't get me to where I wanted to be, number one, but it also sustainably to get to the vision I wanted, I couldn't afford that, right? I was going to be back in survival mode, and I was feeling that survival mode, right? Who's ever felt that? That survival mode where if I do nothing or if I don't do enough of something this month, then what happens? Then I get kicked out of my house, or I lose my lease, or XYZ happens, my credit score goes down. And then what happens after that? So much stressful thoughts started to go through my brain. And I was actually in a very, very, very low point in my life where I was driving home from Arizona because I had moved out to Arizona, took a risk on it. And failed my wholesale business. So I took my car back to San Francisco. On my way back to San Francisco, in the middle of Bakersfield, my car blows up. The engine, I was fine. Engine blew up. I go outside, look under the thing, see a bunch of leaking. I'm like, oh, that's not good. Okay, cool. So I took
It's not supposed to happen.
It's not supposed to happen. So I towed it over. It was a lot of money to fix it. He said, hey, you're going to have to replace the whole engine, right? It's going to cost you about $7K. I had about negative $7K at the time. Didn't have a lot of money. So I said, okay, I'm going to take a train back home to San Francisco and go cry my eyes out because I just failed being an entrepreneur, and I'm going to go back to school and go back to work. But that day I had posted something on TikTok. I remember we talked about TikTok yesterday. I posted a video on TikTok and went over to my mom. I said, oh, Mom, all these terrible things are happening. She says, nothing happens overnight. Boom. Fast forward a little bit. That night, my TikTok goes from 37 to 27,000, 37 people rather, to 27,000 people overnight. A couple months later, I'm like, okay, this is cool, awesome, but I'm still not making money. But then Andrew and I have a conversation, and he had the exact conversation that he just talked to you guys about. He said, Leo, you have to understand that you are, number one, providing so much value to individuals. I was posting motivational videos in that time. And he was like, you know how to go viral. And I helped Andrew do it for free. I helped Andrew. I said, hey, I'm going to help you go viral. I'll do it a couple times, right? And I didn't think about charging. And then Andrew told me, hey, Leo, what do you need to make to feel secure? And I told him, I need to make $5,000 to feel secure. It was $5,000 at the time. He said, okay, what you have to do, Leo, is you have to get 5 people to pay you $1,000 a month. Can you do that? And I said, I don't know. I've never done it before, but I could figure it out. And what happened after that was Andrew helped me sit down and create an offer. It was a super simple offer. Hey, I'll help you build your social media out. I'll help those people get more sales because if more attention, more eyeballs get on them, they'll get more sales. $1,000 a month. That same month, I went to about 9 people, gave them a call, and I did exactly the strategy I talked to you about. Hey, what's your vision? What's your goal for 2020? I think it was 2023. What's your goal for 2023? And we walked through it, and we found out they all wanted to build their brand, and they're all willing to pay. And their challenge was they had no idea how to do it. Me, I had an idea how to do it. I could guide them through it. And so I did the sale. I did the close. Hey, it's $1,000 a month. I'll guide you through it. I'll walk you through it. I'll do all the things for you. All you have to do is record it. They said, okay. Out of those 9 people, I closed 5. That month, I was making $5,000 a month. Soon after that, Andrew was like, hey, make your prices go up, right? Your people are becoming successful. Make your prices go up. That next month, I went from $5,000 a month to $30,000 a month because I increased my prices because I got the feedback and validation from those people before. And all of a sudden, I went from making a couple $1,000s every now and then to making $5,000 a month to then making $30,000 that next month recurring because I decided to sell.
Yeah, I want to point out something, Leo. Type it in the chat. Create my offer. What does that mean? Your offer may be I'll buy houses on payments. Your offer may be I help people get more fit and healthy. Your offer may be I help people make videos for social media. Your offer can be anything that adds, type it in the chat, add value to the marketplace. Add value to the marketplace. This is so, so important, guys. What does add value mean? When we have a resistance to selling, it's usually because we have a mentality, what I call now, and I mean this with all sincerity, because I used to have it, what I call a lack mentality. Because I used to believe that if I allow someone to pay me $5,000, that means they don't have the $5,000 anymore. What I now realize is something called velocity of money, the transfer, the trade of money. And when I can help enough other people get what they want, this is literally the meaning of what Zig Ziglar said. If I can help other people get what they want, I don't have to worry about what I want. Because if I let
Say that
somebody,
one more time, a little bit slower.
if I can help enough other people get what they want, I don't have to worry about what I want.
There you go.
Because if I can accept $5,000 from this person, but give them a piece of my experience that brings them another 50,000, how many more times do you think they're going to pay me 5,000?
Over and over again.
Because I didn't take from the marketplace. I gave into the marketplace, and I gave more value in than I accepted money in return. That's how the transfer of money, the transfer of wealth, the trade of commerce flows. Once I understood that, I became a beast at closing, because if I buy 10 houses this month, it doesn't mean that somebody else lost out. It means I helped 10 sellers, I helped 10 buyers, and shoot, I may have passed on 4 more, passed them along to other investors that they wouldn't have got, because I can add, because type it in the chat, more than enough. There's always more than enough when we're walking in abundance.
Abundance is a big word I want everyone to type in, because we want to focus on this word for just a minute before we go into charisma, guys, because abundance is this idea that there's always enough money floating around. There's always more people. There's always more value that you can bring. And when you start to see things in such a scarce mindset, you stop holding onto the sand so tightly, and you start to let go a little bit and realize this is such a big sandbox in front of you. You can create so much value in the world and create so much money. There's money being printed on a day-to-day basis, and that should be yours, because you are here to create ethical value, create ethical business. You know you are. You're an entrepreneur. You're here for a reason. You're here for a reason to add value to people, to take someone's stress, struggles, challenges, and get them here, which is a life of not stress, a life of no challenge. Or there's always going to be challenges, but removing those challenges as much as possible for those in real estate. You're helping those sellers get out of a distressed situation to now be able to move on in their lives. For people in the consulting space, you're helping them get from transformation A, or actually rather, you're helping them go from A to transformation, which is from fat to fit, from insecure to confident, to X to Y. You're helping them do that, and it's so much value that you're bringing upon them. But you should be getting paid for that, because now the more you're getting paid, the better you're going to add more value to your students, to your clients, to your people, and your product is going to increase in value, because now you're making enough, and now you're not in survival mode, and you're a very abundant individual. You can tell who is abundant and who's not in a conversation. And that's actually the charisma that I want to lead us to, because very charismatic people are typically very abundant people.
Yeah.
Because they know if they just be themselves, right? If I'm just myself in a conversation, we're at dinner, right? It's me, you, and Andrew, okay? And we're just having a great conversation. We just met. I'm just myself, because guess what? I have an abundant mentality where if you don't like me, I do not give a damn, because there's so many other people out there, and the people who do enjoy my energy, Andrew's energy, they're going to catch the vibe. And guess what? That's how we go throughout everything. Every deal we pass by, hey, if that one's not for us, God's saying, hey, that one's not for you. There's a whole lot more. There's millions of houses, millions and millions of houses. There's millions of people, there's millions of students, millions of clients. If someone doesn't like you when you're being authentic, when you're being your truest, unapologetic self, and they don't like you, who cares? You're not my guy. You're not my person. It's not meant to be. And that type of energy is so charismatic, so energetic. So when you're on a sales call, you'll close everybody that you meet, because they know that, hey, I'm here to add value to you, and I'm going to show you what I can do. But if you're not for it, hey, it's fine. I'm going to walk you through objections. But if you're still not for it, again, that's fine. I'm not going to pressure sell you. That's how we run. That's how we do business, and all the businesses that we do.
Well, and flip that around. Imagine that you don't have that charisma, you don't have that confidence, and you end up begging on the phone. Not only are you becoming someone who is less attractive to do business with, but more importantly, what if you're faking it? What if you say, hey, I need to get clients to get fit, and so you're suddenly pretending, you're suddenly acting like someone you're not to try to get that client. Now, that's just a disaster waiting to happen. Because if somebody don't like you in the front end and meeting you for 5 minutes, probably working with you is only going to be more of you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very unapologetically me, as you are, Leo, very unapologetically you, because now we know we're attracting the people that are meant to be. There's no fake, there's no front, there's no need to be. The people who are our tribe show up, and the ones who aren't, that's okay too.
Amen. So that's charisma. Let's talk about confidence.
Confidence.
It's similar, right?
It is.
It's similar, but it's different because confidence is just simply preparation. Confidence is knowing the value that you're going to bring. And if I sell somebody into our consulting, or if I buy someone's house and dispo it, right? I understand that us as individuals, we get shit done, right? We get it done. It's on our calendar. If we say something, it's on our calendar. We're going to get it done.
Right.
That's why we can have confidence, because we have so much repetition of doing that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's why we're good business owners, because we always take notes. And if we need to get something done, we get it done. And that's why if I sell you something, if I bring you into one of our consulting sessions, I know that I'm going to serve at the highest level. Andrew knows that he's going to serve at the highest level. And anything we say will be kept as word. We want you to keep it as word. We always, for example, on Zoom recordings, we'll show you the Zoom recordings that you have it so you can keep us accountable too, because we know we're going to get that done. And that's why we can be so confident in the conversations and in the sale. And that's why when we walk out, for example, we go to a networking event, we go to a friend's house, we go to a dinner, we're very confident because we're very understanding of the value that we bring, and we understand our values, and we're consistent in those values, which allows us to be confident because we're prepared. And preparation is simply doing the thing multiple times to the point where you know that if anything happens, you know where to go. You know, if a mistake happens, you know where to turn. You know what to say. You're prepared. That's what confidence means. You can fake the confidence, but what happens if you're out there and someone swipes you and gives you a different thought, and you get someone says something to your face and you lose it? It's not a good place to be. You would rather prepare yourself so much so you're confident for a sale, so you're confident for a conversation, so you're confident to build a business. What are your thoughts?
I think confidence is sexy. And I say that because as you're in sales, when you're truly confident, not a fake, you've seen the people who are always fake confident, right? And then immediately that mask comes off when somebody says something that catches them a little sideways.
Right.
When someone's truly confident and they carry themselves normally when they're confident with charisma, but when they're truly confident, there's something attractive about that. And you start to find yourself, they start to find themselves in a place going, my goodness, like if he's that sure about himself, maybe I should check this out. And confidence is something that is so powerful. And I'm confident when I talking about something I know, and when I'm not, I'm very transparent. I think transparency is a piece of confidence, because confidence can come through as saying, I don't know about that yet.
Right.
Because when somebody's insecure, they're, oh yeah, I need to pretend like I know this because they might think less of me if I don't. Whereas if you're truly confident, you're like, don't know that one yet. There's something about that is just real and authentic. And so confidence can also show through as authenticity, which is also very good for us in the sales business, us in our personal lives, our branding, our relationships in every way. Authenticity is awesome.
So we're going over a lot. We're going over becoming likable, building massive rapport, the art of asking questions. We talked about our businesses, the business that you built up over the past 10 years, the power of influence, charisma, and confidence. And I think we're starting to realize, guys, that it all kind of comes together, right? When you start to live a lifestyle of development, of building, of personal development and professional development, you're going to get better at sales. Because the better you are in your charisma and your unapologeticness of being you, the better you're going to be at sales. It's kind of one of those unspoken rules. The more charismatic and confident you become, the better questions that you start to ask. For example, something that I always say, when you go to a networking event, when you guys come to our event here, February 5, 6, and 7, you're going to meet a lot of private money lenders. You're going to meet a lot of very successful individuals. You're going to meet a lot of people, new people who are just highly energetic and excited to meet you. And I tell everyone, don't ask what they do. Don't shake their hands. Say, hey, what do you do, sir? No, I'm going to go up and say, oh, what's up, Andrew? How are you doing, man? You feeling good?
Feeling good.
Oh, what's been going on today? How are you feeling?
Man, I feel good. It's been a hectic but fun and productive day.
Tell me about it.
Man. So we had a lot of meetings. We had a live stream to do. Had some amazing, beautiful people show up there. Before that, we had a marketing meeting and team meeting. And after this, I'm going to be recording for YouTube and thinking about the topics I'm going to be talking about there.
Marketing meeting, coaching calls, content.
Yep.
How are you doing all that, man?
Great team. I have plug from the greatest business partner I could ever imagine. And I have an incredible team around us. Yeah. And they keep my wheels on straight, man.
Andrew, tell me, what is your vision? So I know you're doing all these different things. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. What is your vision for 2025? Like, what do you want to build?
So I think the real point is to build impact and build community. Okay. And I know that's kind of broad.
It's okay.
But as we're building impact and community, it is to add value to people in such a way. 2025 is very much of building out a base of people we help succeed and bring up with us and around us, because we have some huge goals with our brand and what we're building, and beyond years and years, decades in advance and down the road. So this is a time of really foundation building and bringing people around us up to new levels.
That is incredible. Like I get a little bit of shivers when you say that. It's so cool what you're building. What is the biggest challenge? Because I know that's a huge thing, right? Yeah. Especially when you're building something bigger than you, bigger than all of us, right? What is your biggest challenge from being able to hit that?
So probably right now, we have a lot of projects going. We have developments and real estate business and affiliates and team and community and mastermind. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is making sure we hire right. We have an incredible team, but I realize this year we're going to be probably growing our team by 150%. Yep. And in doing that team growth, I know that the make or break of continuing the growth, because our number one thing is always taking care of our people.
Of course.
And so if we're taking care of our people, there's only so much of us to go around. So if we hire the right team, that spreads the awesomeness. Yeah. And of course, if there was ever a time we picked a wrong team member, that delays growth slightly. So hiring the right team is probably the biggest focus.
Could I interest you in an all-inclusive trip to Hawaii? Aloha, it's going to be a great time. Oh, we got Kalua Pig. We got all this stuff. It's going to be a great time. Can I interest you in that?
I'm so down.
Awesome. It's going to be Spirit Airlines. All right, guys. So essentially, what I wanted to show in that conversation was exactly what it is. We kind of sped it up real quick, but my job was to every question guide him into a certain place. I could have guided him into helping him with his team and selling him on consulting, or helping him to a hiring agency, all those different things. But you got to see what his vision was, what Andrew's challenges were, and then we had so much rapport in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's what we do with every single call, every single time we're finding and discovering what someone needs. It's exactly just that. And also just friendships and people that you meet anywhere. Like, I still want to understand what you need.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's going to allow us to add more value to each other.
I think that's so powerful, and you do that masterfully. Leo, as you're laying that out, it is a perfect example of what I see you do in real life all the time. And for each of you, give me a yes in the chat as we're almost to wrap this up. We have a couple more things to cover. If you guys are feeling this, if this is making sense to you, give me a yes in the chat. Shall we, before we wrap up and cover the last topic, shall we shout out some of the comments?
Yeah. Bill Welsh has been here every single day, I think.
I love Bill's energy. He's an incredible dude. Elizabeth, so nice to see you, my friend. Les is here.
What's up, Les?
So good to see you, my friend. Marlin.
Sheila. What is up, guys? Guys, we're building a community. We're building something that allows you to learn and develop yourself into the best version of yourself here. And, we do events because we understand that people love the in-person energy.
Yeah.
We're trying to, here's a beautiful thing. Boom, right? We're trying to create as much of an in-person feel as we can, but we can only do so much.
Right.
But as we're doing this every single day, it at least allows you to come on to here every single day, Monday through Friday, right? All we ask is 1 hour of your time. And during noon or 3 p.m., for us to help you develop these skills and really understand sales, understand marketing, understand branding, understand mentality, understanding discipline, understanding team building, culture, understanding technology, AI, all these concepts that we learn every single day because of the multiple businesses that we're running, and just feed that to you. And what you're doing back for us is you're giving us an outlet to continue to spend hours prepping for these shows to give back. Because when we do so much preparation work, we get to relearn what we already learned and give it back to you guys. But what you guys are going to get is really the outlay to build a multiple, or I should say, build $1 million business this year in whatever industry that you choose. Because you start to see that in sales, for example, it's very multidimensional, very connected in the same way that we do business across all industries. And you can implement that into your business. So what is something that we should ask them to get a little bit more feedback on that can make this so much better now that we have some incredible individuals on here?
So I want to point out, by the way, thank you guys for being here early. I see Esther here. I see Ahmed. So good. Shout out to Ahmed, one of our incredible team.
Shout out Brandon.
See
Phil,
you, Brandon.
Lori.
Brandon's outside right now. He's getting ready to record a YouTube for us.
Les.
So shout out to all you guys for being here. But there's two things that I would like to point out. One, consistency wins. We're showing up every day for you guys. Two, we're always improving. And so we want your feedback. And I would love to hear more about, as the 365 days, we have been toying with the idea. Shall we reveal what we've been toying with?
Let's do it.
We've been toying with the idea of calling this your $1 million year. Type it in the chat, my $1 million year. Now, we've been toying with the idea of calling it that. We've not decided on that yet. We want to understand what you need and what speaks to you. Because we know how to help people close deals. We know how to help people become speakers and sell better, and to enjoy the Truca 8, travel more, and build their businesses up. We find the non-traditional revenue streams and really help you impact your life at a new level. But we want your feedback of the specifics and more of what you want to hear as we're developing and laying out the agenda for this 365. I want for all of you to be able to tap in and get what you need out of it. So I've just asked for your feedback. If there's anything here today that has stood out to you, let us know. Type it in the chat. If there's anything that this has sparked in your mind to say, my gosh, if I had this kind of accountability every day, if you added this to the show, or added quotes from books that you're reading, or recommends of books you're reading, or Bible verse quotes, or various things that you enjoy. I'm just throwing out ideas. Type it in the chat what exactly you would love to see, so we can continue to give you more of what you need to hit your goals. Because we don't just talk about helping other people get what they want. That's actually our life and what we do. And we want to help you get there.
Absolutely. So here's what to expect, guys, as we're getting this feedback. Me and Andrew, we commit to dedicating our time to consistently prepare from our experiences, from our mentors that we pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s for, to continue to show up here and teach you guys the metrics, the tools, the resources, the mentalities to build your $1 million business. But we want to understand what is your business. And when you guys type in the chat, hey, I agree with that because I'm in this business, or I'm doing real estate, I'm building my portfolio, I'm building a fitness company. When we understand that, we're able to say, hey, I can pull from Bill's business and I can show you, here's an offer that you can create, or here's a new sales tactic, here's a great question that you can ask. But it has to be a simultaneous thing. As you guys are typing in the chat and staying very active and showing up every day, we start to build that relationship with you, where over the next 365 days, our biggest prayer is that we get 50 of you guys to send a video and saying, wow, from this daily live stream, I did at least $1 million net.
Yes.
In my business, by following their instruction, by staying accountable, by building my charisma, by becoming the best version of myself, by looking at my Truca 8 and developing those aspects of my life. That is why we're here, guys. And we hope that you feel that energy from us.
So we're running out of time. Text event. We're doing an event in a few short days. Text event to 940-468-7852 and make sure you have your tickets to the Truca event.
Hey, I'm down. Hey, Bill said maybe give us a little competition challenge. Hey, we'll figure that out. Maybe the first one to hit a milestone like $100,000 in this quarter, we'll do a Hawaii trip. Or maybe the first one to hit $1 million, we'll do something big for.
We'll brainstorm that deeper and come back with something.
Yes,
maybe
we will.
You guys can suggest it. You know, you can suggest all sorts of ways for us to spend our money on you.
Exactly. Whatever y'all need. Okay, guys. Hey, thank you so much for hopping on. This was a great conversation on sales. Andrew, as always, thank you. We're going to have a fantastic day. And you guys have a fantastic day as well.
See you tomorrow. Same place, same time.
Deuces.